Tyrannosaurus evolved specifically to kill other large dinosaurs. And that's a paraphrased quote from Kenneth Branagh, who narrated BBC's Walking with Dinosaurs. And that comes from the last episode, Death of a Dynasty, or Dynasty if you're posh, like he is. And this refers to, well, the subject of the episode. Hey up, it's your boy, History Boy, and as I said, I'm doing a prehistory across different eras themed week. I suppose it's, in a way, I suppose it's not only a prehistory themed week, but a prehistory, like a biology and medical science kind of thing. Biology, it's biology really. And whatever the study of diseases is. I forget what it's called. It's something to do with maladies. I forget. You know, if anyone watching who will watch this eventually wants to, if I can't be asked looking it up, or forget to look it up, or don't come up with the scientific term for the study of diseases, then feel free to comment, basically. So, and yeah, the dinosaurs, they actually developed diseases that are around now: cancers, brain tumors, arthritis. But in Tyrannosaurus's case, in the case of this one, Sue the Tyrannosaurus, which was written about in an article by the New York Post in 1997, and you can still read that online, and I'm gonna link that. But she had gout, and gout is to do with because I'm pretty sure that it's notable in T-Rex's case because of how they evolved and what kind of things they ate. They basically had a rich, bloody kind of protein and, I guess, carby diet. They needed all that meat and stuff to convert to some kind of carbs to keep them going. And as I quoted the Kenneth Branagh thing, they specialised in killing huge dinosaurs. So one T-Rex would have probably feasted for hours, like one of Henry VIII's banquets, but just all, think of think of it like some kind of Edmontosaurus or Iguanodon type thing instead of rock pie and sweet chicken and all that kind of stuff that Henry VIII would have had, which and wine. In fact, I think Tyrannosaurus actually ate fermented grapes too. I think grapes were around. Grapes are ancient. In another series, Walking with Beasts, or if you're from the other side of the pond, well, America specifically, the Canadians probably call it by the original title, I imagine, but Walking with Prehistoric Monsters. In the first episode, which is set in Germany, there were Propaleotherium, which were proto horses, and they would frequently get drunk on fermented grapes. So they were basically drinking wine without millions of years before people knew what wine was, or even people were around. That's debatable too, but whatever. But poor T-Rex had gout. Would have had the the poor thing would have, they already had hard lives. As far as like the raising the young went, so she would have had like bad toes. She had a myriad of other health problems like possibly tooth decay and stuff like that. But the main issue is the gout, is the main topic of this episode's conversation, if you can call it a conversation. It potentially will be if someone comments, but yeah. So that's it, basically, for sad state Sue the Tyrannosaurus Rex, who mercifully died of something else rather than gout and a tooth infection. But maybe the tooth infection killed her, like what happened to Hugo Boss allegedly, and possibly Jacob Marley in Christmas Carol, because he has the bandage around his face, like a tooth abscess. That could have been anything from tooth abscess to a brain tumor, which is what happened to iguanodons and stuff. I remember watching a thing years ago where a young iguanodon or something similar partnered with an old iguanodon who had bouts of senility because of the brain tumor, stuff like that. It was quite good. I can't remember the program, but yeah. Let's just end this before I digress further. And remember to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll be obviously with you with the other two episodes. So, peace.